Why are British lawyers still wearing wigs? In a world of artificial intelligence, self-driving cars and virtual courtrooms? Why does the British legal system still cling to 18th century horsehair? Stay with me, because the answer is stranger than you think. It involves power, class, scandal, and yes, even ghosts. So let's start with the basics. If you've ever watched a courtroom drama set in England or tuned into UK news, you've probably seen this. A lawyer, known as a barrister, in a sharp black robe, with a powdered white wig on their head that looks like it time-traveled from the 1700s. But it's not just for show. This is courtroom tradition, and it still matters. Only barristers and judges wear wigs in court. Not all lawyers in the UK wear them. Solicitors usually don't. The wig is called a peruke. And yes, it's still made of horsehair. But why? Let's rewind the clock. Wigs first became fashionable in Europe in the 1600s thanks to one man, King Louis XIV of France. He started going bald in his 20s and wore wigs to hide it. The trend caught on, especially among the rich and powerful. Soon British aristocrats and judges followed suit. By the late 1600s, all judges and lawyers in England were wearing powdered wigs as a symbol of dignity and formality. It was a way to show, I'm not just a man, I represent the law. Wigs meant authority, neutrality, and status. And here's a twist. Back then, courtrooms didn't have microphones or cameras, so wearing a wig made it easier to identify who was speaking. Who was the lawyer, the judge, the accused? So if wigs started as a fashion trend, and fashion has clearly changed, why didn't the legal wigs go out of style too? The answer lies in British culture itself. The UK is famous for its love of tradition, especially in legal and royal institutions. But there's more than just nostalgia. Wigs became symbols of impartiality. They separated the person from the role. It's like a costume. You don't see John Smith. You see the Crown Prosecutor. You don't see a man with opinions. You see the embodiment of law. And lawyers say the wig gives them confidence. One barrister even said, "The moment I put on the wig, I become someone else. I become the role." Strange maybe, but powerful definitely. Not all legal wigs are the same. Here's what the different types mean. Barrister's wig, short, curly, worn by most courtroom lawyers. Judge's wig, longer with side flaps, more formal and authoritative. Full-bottomed wigs, reserved for ceremonial occasions, they go all the way down the shoulders. Think, royal court events, no wig at all. In some civil cases, family court or youth court, wigs aren't worn to avoid intimidating people. Yes, wigs can intimidate people. And here's something you probably didn't know. These wigs cost hundreds of pounds. And yes, some are still handmade with real horsehair. You might be wondering, why keep wearing these? That's a question even the UK legal world asks. Some say, wigs are outdated, they make the legal system look old and inaccessible. Others argue, wigs are part of our identity. They remind us that justice isn't about the person, it's about the institution. In 2007, the UK actually tried to phase out wigs for civil and family court. But in criminal court, they stayed. Why? Because criminal court is where tradition matters most, where symbolism, authority, and ritual still play a huge role. Let's lighten things up. Here are some strange stories from the history of legal wigs. The cursed wig. A judge in the 1800s reportedly died mysteriously after wearing a second-hand wig from a disgraced predecessor. Some say the wig was cursed. Wig theft scandal. In 2013, a UK barrister's expensive wig was stolen from their car and ended up on eBay. Fake barrister with wig. In 2016, a man posed as a barrister just by buying a wig and robe online. He attended trials for months before getting caught. And yes, one judge once admitted to falling asleep in court with the wig still on. So, should lawyers still wear wigs? Maybe you think it's silly. Maybe you think it's powerful. But here's the truth. A wig isn't just hair. It's a symbol of tradition, of justice, and of something bigger than any one person. And in a world where everything is changing fast, sometimes the strangest traditions remind us where we came from. Would you trust a judge more if they wore a wig? Tell us in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that make you go, wait, is that really true?